Kelly Hill, technology reporter with RCR Wireless News. I'm here at the CableTec Show 2018 with Jennifer Andreoli-Fang, who is a distinguished technologist with CableLabs. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Kelly?
Good. I'm good. So, talk to us a little bit about what's going on in terms of preparation or thinking about preparation for the 5G era for the cable industry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Hold the mic.
That's all right. Okay, here we'll start over again.
Okay. You're going to be able to cut the edit.
I'm not sure I'll have enough time in there to cut it. I don't have very sophisticated tools. So all right, we'll just start over. Okay, take 3, right?
Oh, wait, hold on. So maybe what we can do is do one question at a time.
Sure.
And then that'll at least be easier to cut and paste.
Okay.
That kind of shit.
Sounds good. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll do my intro and then we'll do one question and then okay. This is Kelly Hill, executive editor of RCR Wireless News. I'm here at the CableTec Show 2018 with Jennifer Andreoli-Fang, who is a distinguished technologist with CableLabs. So, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Kelly?
I'm good.
I'm good. The show?
It's been really busy and good so far.
Yeah,
lots of wireless topics.
Yep.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about what the cable industry is doing or what you guys at CableLabs are thinking about in terms of preparation for and the impact of 5G on the cable industry.
Yeah, so I think that 5G offers tremendous opportunity for the cable industry. And I think that our membership really realized that. You know, the cable plants are everywhere. We cover a huge number of areas in the U.S., so we have the plants and we have the power. The cable plants are actively powered, and we have the strands and we have the street furniture to really backhaul for 5G small cells. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about 5G, right? 5G is really all about the speeds, the latency, and the ability to offer services and manage services and applications that are just so different. Right, and in fact, backhaul. So okay, let's step back a little. Mm-hmm. Speeds really can be done through densification, right? So you'll deploy small cells everywhere, and that's where our ubiquity of our plans comes into play, right? And to be able to backhaul for all of these small cells that are densely deployed, it's going to cost you a lot of money, right? So that's where this is an opportunity for the cable companies. In fact, backhaul costs accounts for more than half of the total cost for deploying a mobile network. So, so I think backhaul, there's definitely tremendous opportunities here. So, we talked about capacity, we talked about latency, we talked about the ability to manage resources very well, but behind all this, what is not talked about is synchronization and timing. That's pretty fundamental to deploying a mobile network.
And especially in 5G, when you start talking about the ultra-low latency, a lot of that depends on very, very tight synchronization and timing. So one of the things that you mentioned is that you folks are working on a mobile backhaul lab. Can you tell us a little bit about that project and what you guys are thinking about in that?
Yeah, definitely. So let me step back a little. So, the mobile world, people use 1588 timing. That is a IEEE standard, and that is developed for a Ethernet-based network where everything is symmetrical. Upstream, downstream is symmetrical. DOCSIS plant, we are very asymmetrical. So how do we carry 1588 timing through the backhaul network all the way to the 5G small cell, right? So that is a major challenge. And luckily, we have an industry full of smart people, timing experts, and DOCSIS veterans working on it. And they're all part of my team. And we found a solution, and the solution is basically called DOCSIS Time Protocol. So we're developing the protocol, and we published a first draft back in August, and we're going to publish another draft, and probably we're pretty close to standardizing that. Hopefully Q1 next year.
Oh wow!
So the mobile,
go ahead and go ahead. Tell us about the lab.
Yeah, so the mobile backhaul lab that we're building at CableLabs is really geared towards kind of doing testings and performance testings on the early implementations of any technologies that will help enable mobile backhaul over DOCSIS or make it work, make it better, right? So the timing synchronization now will be one of the first pieces that's going to come in, right? So we already know that Cisco and Intel, they have an early implementation and it seems to be working well with each other. And in fact, they have a demo here in the Cisco booth. Oh, wow. So, I'm hoping that they can bring their setup into our lab to kind of do some testing and, to show it off to our membership. And so that'll be the first phase of the mobile backhaul lab, the R&D phase. And then, once we kind of look at the proof of concepts a little, kind of debug our specs a little, specs get to be updated,
yes,
right? As
absolutely.
we work through the technology.
There's always a 2.0.
yeah, exactly. For one thing, DOCSIS 3.0, I think, 3.1, I think we're at I16, 16th release, right? So, we want to perfect the protocol. So once that's kind of, we debug a little, and then we're going to hand it over to Curio and see if they can, take it over and use that to provide a service for our members, right? Timing synchronization, they can create a database of, how a CMTS and the modem would kind of, what kind of performance target that they can achieve, and they will do the testing, and they can provide a database for our members so that they know that when they deploy a mobile network, that they are confident about the performance target.
Okay. And just for anybody in my audience who doesn't know about Curio, can you tell us what they do in relationship to CableLabs?
Yeah, so Curio is a CableLabs subsidiary, and they do basically qualification, certification testing, all your cable modems that you buy from the store, that's all been Curio certified, and they qualify CMTSs, and I think that they're going to hopefully get into performance testing a little more, because the timing and sync, that's definitely more on the performance side of things, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I think that one other question then, another area of focus that you've talked about has been this idea of core convergence. So tell us about some of the challenges in that area and what your interest is.
Yeah, so it's So here's the thing, right? More than half of CableLabs operators are also mobile operators. So, they would be operating a cable core network. They have a cable network, they operate a cable core network. And then they have a mobile network, they have to operate a mobile core. And then, many of them have Wi-Fi deployments, so they're going to have to, manage and the Wi-Fi network, right? So they have multiples of these networks that they have to manage and make operate. So, rather than having 3 different NOCs, right, that I think, so the idea here is how do we converge the core networks so that we can save them on CapEx and also OpEx, right? I think you asked me earlier about, we talked earlier about virtualization, right? I think infrastructure virtualization is an obvious good approach, right? And I think many vendors and operators realize that there's been tremendous advances on that. But then the next thing that we want to look at is, given all of these different network functions that 5G Core has, defined, and it's mind-boggling. How do we actually converge those with cable core networks, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds ambitious. Very ambitious.
Yeah, I think, it's exploratory, right? This could be the direction that the cable industry can take in the next, 2 to 5 years, right? We're just starting to explore core network convergence, right? So I think, there hopefully will be a good thing coming up in the next few years.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for the time, Jennifer. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Callie.